Welcome to Nephis and Chill. In this video, we'll be going over the 6 new item sets that I'll be dropping with Update 32, otherwise known as the Deadlands DLC next patch. And I'll just kind of give my brief thoughts on them, and also review them with you, so you can make your own sound decisions when it comes to whether you want to farm these sets or use them for your builds or not, whether it's for PvE or PvP in the Elder Scrolls Online. First, we'll start with the Overland sets. The light armor set Eye of the Grasp can be found in the Deadlands zone. The 2-piece bonus is Max Magicka. The 3-piece bonus is weapon and spell damage. The 4th-piece bonus adds critical chance. These are very, very strong bonus stats already. Let's see what the 5-piece bonus does. When you deal critical damage, generate 7 ultimate. This effect can occur once every 5 seconds. Right off the bat, we know that's going to be pretty much the 100% uptime. Once every 5 seconds. There's going to be 7 ultimate every 5 seconds. I'm not sure how strong this will be, considering, again, it is a 5-piece set. I'm not sure if this is going to be worth at all, really, for endgame PvE DPS. Could be something you see for general PvE setups, however, or even for PvP. The next set in Overland for the Deadlands DLC zone is going to be Hexos Ward. Hexos Ward is a medium armor set that gives critical chance, weapon and spell damage, and another bonus stat of critical chance. Again, very strong stats. The 5th piece bonus is dealing direct critical damage, very key thing to note, direct, not any crit damage, grants you a damage shield that absorbs up to 12.2k damage for 6 seconds. This effect can occur once every 6 seconds, so you can definitely have a 100% uptime on the shield, kind of. I mean, unless the shield dissipates due to incoming damage, which is usually the case in most PvE content. One thing I just kind of don't like is the 4-piece bonus stats seem to be better than the 5th-piece bonus stat. For example, you can probably just do 2-piece Ice Heart and not forego an entire 5-piece slot setup for Hexos Ward. Because the shields in this game dissipate quite fast, especially in in-game content. So this is going to be up to you if you want to try using it out. But I think for sure the 4-piece bonus is going to be a strong set of bonuses to utilize, if not the whole 5-piece bonus. And of course, the last Overland set comes in heavyweight compared to the light and medium armor weights we just reviewed for the previous 2 sets. And this is going to be Kind Marcher's Cruelty. So maximum health, stam recovery, okay, and we have armor, which is basically mitigation. So the 5th piece bonus is going to be when you deal direct damage, you apply 1 of 5 major debuffs to enemies within 8 meters of you for 18 seconds. This effect can occur once every 8 seconds and only if an enemy is in range. This is a pretty interesting one, actually. I can definitely see this as a very fun set to use, or potentially a good set to use for fun builds for dungeons and stuff as a tank, depending on classes too, because some classes have easier access to some of these major debuffs and compared to other classes. So AoE Major Breach to all enemies within 8 or all within range. It doesn't really, well, the 8 meter range for 18 seconds every 8 seconds. This is quite interesting. I'm not sure if it will stack. So, for example, if it occurs once every 8 seconds, and each major debuff lasts for 18 seconds, so by the time it's 10 seconds left on the duration of one of those, I'm not sure if the next debuff will be randomized, or probably randomized. Could be the same one and kind of refresh the duration, potentially. Or maybe it would be a different major debuff. So this could be interesting. Potentially you could have Major Breach and Major Maim Up roughly at the same time, and so forth. So basically 2 at a time. Pretty interesting. I can see an application for this in both PvE and PvP. Next, we'll be covering the 3 craftable sets that will be coming with the Deadlands DLC. So the first set we'll be looking at that you can craft is going to be Wretched Vitality. It has magical recovery, stamina recovery, and weapon and spell damage force to the 4-piece bonuses. The 5th piece bonus says, while in combat, applying a major buff or debuff to a target, which is very easily done, grants you 260 magic and stamina recovery for 15 seconds. while in combat, applying a minor buff or debuff to our target, which is also very, very doable, to a target grants you 130 magic and stamina recovery for 15 seconds. So obviously these can stack. That's a buttload of sustain. That's 390 magic and stamina recovery for 15 seconds. I'm going to assume on cooldown. So yeah, I mean, this could potentially be a very good set for instances of both PvE and PvP. And the next set we're going to be talking about is Deadlands Demolisher. Max stamina, weapon and spell damage, and max stamina. And this is a very interesting set actually, because it comes with changes in regards to how Bash is going to function next patch and the buffs to Bash. Your Bash attacks, for example, deal 935 more damage with this set. When you Bash, you also deal physical damage in the code in front of you, interrupting any enemy's hit. I might go more into detail on this set, depending on how it turns out, with the Bash changes coming to Update 32, where they're basically kind of upping the damage of it. And also that is going to work with probably like the Necromancer Goliath Bash morph. So something interesting to kind of take a note on, particularly for PvP, or maybe we'll see a very interesting PvE Bash build. The last craftable set we'll be talking about is going to be Iron Flask. Now, I'm going to talk a little bit about this. On week 1 PTS, Iron Flask, it gave max health, and 1487 armor. And the 5th piece bonus says, when you drink a potion while in combat, reduce your damage taken by 12% for 20 seconds. Unfortunately, as of week 3 PTS, this set was nerfed. It wasn't really set on the patch notes. So basically, the change to it, or nerf to it, was that they changed the 12% mitigation you took, which is stackable with other unique buffs and other modifiers, to a armor buff, giving you physical and spell resistance by the value of 7,779, which is like whatever for probably both PvE and PvP. And of course, it's the amount of seconds is the same. Surprisingly, you would think potentially could be a little longer, but again, not a very good set to really consider in my opinion. But maybe if you guys can figure something out for it, go for it. But yeah, that's pretty much all the new items that's coming out with this patch. Thank you guys so much for liking and subscribing to the channel for the past few weeks now. It's been a wild ride. And if you want to see more PTS content or more breakdowns of stuff in the Elder Scrolls Online or skits or memes, definitely do consider subscribing, as we would like to reach more people with our builds and our videos. Thank you for enough of chilling, and stay safe. Have a great weekend, and see you guys next time.